Peace. It's your boy Herb Smith from Get Your Mind Right, Get Focused. Once again, in this video, I want to talk about when is enough enough? Hmm? When do you come to that point when you decide that enough is enough? I'm tired of being tired. When do you make that decision to start living your life on your terms and stop living it on other people's terms? I mean, if you really stop and think about it, life is not as long as we may think that it is. We might see our elders growing old, but if you were to ever stop and have a real conversation with them, they probably tell you how fast it seems like this life went by, just like at a blink of an eye. Me, myself, I'm 52 right now. I'll be 53 this year. So when I think about some of the things that I used to do and the way that I was when I was in my 20s, it doesn't seem like it was that long ago, although it may have been. But in my mind, when I think about it, or when I might hold conversation, which is very rare, it doesn't seem like it was that long ago. One day you wake up and you go to do something only to learn that you're not able to do it in the same manner that you were able to. In other words, you're not as vigorous, you're not as energetic, you're not as strong, you're not as willing. All of these things start to make you think, like, Dad, where did the time go? You become wiser as you become older because you've gone through some things. You've made it through some things. That creates wisdom. Think about it. Today, as you're older, you look at those that are younger than you and you can see their path. You can see where it is that they're headed, if they're headed in the right direction or if they're headed in the wrong direction, if they're headed for something good or if they're headed for something that's destroying, destructive. To you young heads out there, at this time and age that you are currently in, you may think that you have it all together. You may think that you know it all. But I'm here to tell you that you may become very surprised as you get older to learn how much you actually do not know. If you were to just take the time to listen and to pay close attention to those who came before you, look at some of them. Look at where they've ended up. Look at how they've turned out. And ask yourself some serious questions. Is that how I want to be? Is that where I want to be at? I remember when they were this. I remember when they were that. In fact, let's not say this and that. I remember when they were the flyest person out there, the flyest dude, the flyest female. I remember then when they used to drive the fancy cars, wear the most expensive clothes, have the most bulkiest and flyest jewelry. And now look at them today in their 50s, in their 60s, looking broke, looking bummy, looking hurt. Don't even afford a car. Don't even afford a house still. They still renting. They still living up in the projects. Think about this. We're not judging, but think about this. What is it that you want? Where is it that you see yourself in the future? Are you just living for the moment, or are you living for the future? For you who are in your 30s, in your 40s, in your 50s, in your 60s. I'm not in my 60s yet, but I'm in my 50s. But stop and think about it. If you're not where you wanted to be, where you thought you would be when you were in your 20s and 30s, or even in your teens for that matter, if you're not where you thought that you were going to be or wanted to be, what's stopping you from getting there? Okay, I know that it's harder these days. Things aren't the same anymore. You're not in that in crowd anymore. That's okay though. You still have an opportunity. You could still be whatever it is that you wanted to be. You could still do whatever it is that you wanted to do. It may not be in the same fashion or the same desire, but there's something. It's not the end of the world. You're still here. You still have an opportunity. You still have a chance. So the question again is, when is enough enough? When do you get tired of being tired of dealing with the same old, same old? That's all I'm asking. When do you make a decision to make some changes in your life that are necessary for you to make in order to get wherever it is that you are trying to go in this lifetime? Because you only get this lifetime, and it's your life. It's not anyone else's. I done told you this before. No one else can live your life for you. Only you can live this life. So when do you make that decision to make that change for better for yourself? Think about it. You've been putting up with negativity. You've been putting up with anxiety. You've been putting up with depression. You've been putting up with feeling sorry for yourself. You've been putting up with being hated on. You've been putting up with feeling down on yourself. You've been putting up with a whole bunch of things that I'm sure I'm not talking about or can't think of at this time, but you stop and think about, what have I actually been putting up with? What have I actually been dealing with? What have I actually been going through? And these are things that you actually make a choice to allow yourself to go through or deal with or put up with. So if you can make the choice and decide or allow to go through, deal with, or put up with whatever it is that has been going on in your life all of this time, then you can also make the decision, a conscious choice, to do something about it, to make a change, to put your best foot forward and go for whatever it is that you want. If I'm willing to go through this, then, and I don't like it, then why wouldn't I put my willingness to go through something that I actually like? You're going to go through something no matter what. No matter what, you're going to go through something. I always look at it like this. A person who works a job that they can't stand. Oh man, I can't stand this job. My boss get on my nerves. These workers, all they do is gossip. And everybody's lazy. Nobody shows up on time. Nobody does their job. I don't get paid enough. And you still get up and go to that job faithfully every day. It doesn't matter if you're sick. It doesn't matter if you're tired. It doesn't matter if you're angry. If you just, today I dread going into this job, but you still go. And your reason is because the bills got to get paid. Bills got to get paid no matter what. You could be doing something that you enjoy doing, putting your best effort and all your energy and all your time into doing something that you want to do. The bills still got to get paid. Is it because it's easier to go and work for somebody else? Because that's a guaranteed paycheck? What happens the day they decide to cut back? Not to say they would, but what happens if that were to occur? What happens if they decide to let you go? How many people do you know, or how many of you have gone through too many absences, too many tardinesses, too many write-ups, and they just let you go? They don't care about your bills. They don't care about you having food on your table. They don't care about you having a roof over your head or clothes on your back. They don't care about none of that. It's you who care about that. So when do you start caring about yourself enough to go after what it is that you want? To go after your heart desire? When does it become that time for you? Life is short. Before you know it, you'll be old, you'll be gray, and then you'll be ready to check out of this world. Never to experience what life really had for you. Think about it. Your time is now. Every day that you wake up, every day that you are breathing on the face of this earth is your time. You are only in the now. You are never in the past. You are never in the future. You are only in the present moment at all times. Think about it. If you're dwelling in the past, that holds you in the past. If you're worrying about the future, you're worrying about something that don't even exist. And that goes for the past as well. It doesn't exist. It's the past. It's gone. You're only in the here and now. That's it. So your time is now to make a conscious decision. I'm not saying go and quit your job. I'm not saying leave that unhappy life right now. I'm saying start making the necessary changes in order to prep yourself to go and leave that job, to leave this current situation. After a while, you'll just start noticing changes. Okay? It's like when you work out. You don't build muscle immediately. You have to continuously go to the gym. You have to go through some pain. No pain, no gain. That's what they say, right? No pain, no gain. You have to go through the transitional stages. So it's the same thing when you're trying to make changes in your life to do better for you. And when you do better for you, you do better for yours. Yours is your loved ones, the people that you care about, the people who support you, the people who you want to make a positive effect on in your life. If you can't do it for yourself, then you can't do it for anyone else. Point blank. Like I said, 1 + 1 = 2. It has to add up. If it doesn't add up, it's subtracting. So if it's subtracting, it's taking away. The only time it's good for something to take away is when it's making room for something else good to come in. If it's nothing else good is coming in, then it's just taking away. That's all it's doing. And right now, living an unhappy life, living a life unfulfilled to what it is that you want, is just taking away. It's just taking away. And time taken away is a time that cannot be retrieved. You can't get that back. You think about when you were younger, as far back as you can think about, you was one type of person. Then you got into your teens. You changed. You became a different type of person. Then you got into your 20s. You changed. You became a different type of person. Then you get into your 30s. You transition and you become a different type of person. And it's the same with your 40s and your 50s. You start looking at life a little differently. But think about if you were to catch this at a younger age, and this is for you young heads out there, if you was to catch this at a younger age and realize what I'm telling you right now, that if I was to start right now focusing on what is necessary for me to get to where it is that I want to be in life. I always tell the young ones, if you was to do what it is that you need to do right now, focus on your credit, focus on your career, focus on the lifestyle that you see for yourself. Focus on where it is that you want to be 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line, 20 years down the line, and start putting all your time and energy into that. And by the time you reach my age, you'll be set. You won't be going through the things that I've gone through or many people older than you have gone through. You won't be going through any of that. This is what we call our future. But instead, right now, to you, it's all about partying, drinking, drugs, sex. That shit is always going to be there. Excuse my language, but that's always going to be there. And the more you start working towards what it is that you want, the less you'll find an interest in these things. It may not be for everyone, but for a great deal of you, the more serious you are about your future and about your life and being happy with it, the less these other things will seem appealing to you, because all these things are as distractions, and that includes sex too. It's just a distraction, because sex is a mutual bond. It's a spiritual thing. But a lot of times, people just abuse it because they don't really understand it. And I fall victim to that my own self. I was young at one day in time, and I'm still young. According to those who are older than me, I'm still a baby. I don't feel like no baby. But when them elders come to me, baby, child, boy, if you don't get out there and do your thing, I'm like, dang, but I'm like half a century years old and everything. What else is left for me? Boy, the whole world is out there for you. And I know this, I feel this in my heart. I've made my changes a long time ago. I've been working on myself for a long time now. And it shows. I know it shows. I see things in a way that I had never seen them before, and they've always been present to me. I just never noticed them. I noticed people who was phony around me for years, who I thought was my peoples, who I thought was my peoples, who I thought that had my back, who was down for me. But I see differently now. I can see a lot clearer now. I'll recognize things that I did not recognize before because I had too many distractions, had to get rid of the distractions. And those distractions, how I got rid of them was by starting to focus on what it is that I truly wanted, by being happy with myself, with who I am, by first recognizing myself and who I am and realizing that I do have worth. Not just saying I have worth, but really recognizing that I have true value in this world, that I serve a real purpose, and that it is my right, my God-given right, to enjoy this physical experience while here on this earth, to enjoy my life. People gonna talk. That's never gonna stop. People gonna have their opinions. That's never gonna stop. People gonna say what it is that they wanna say. It's never gonna stop. People gonna throw up your past, all the dirt that you done did, all the things that you could have been or didn't do or whatever it is that they can. That's never gonna stop. At the end of the day, you have to believe in you. You have to want it for yourself. You have to know that you are worthy and that you are more than capable. Why? Because God feels that I'm capable. God feels that I'm worthy. God said, boy, get up. I got work to do. I got work for you to do. I put you here for a reason. Get up. I'm not done with you yet. When I started looking at it from that standpoint, nothing else mattered anymore. Nothing else mattered anymore. As long as God feels that I'm worthy, I'm good. There's no reason for me to doubt my worthiness. Every day when I wake up, when he wakes me up and allows me to experience another day, is a good day. No matter if I have a headache, no matter if I have body aches, no matter if I'm feeling tired and drowsy, no matter if I have a cold, no matter however it is that I might feel that wants to prevent me from getting up and enjoying my day, I get up and I enjoy my day. Because he said it's okay. What you mean he said it's okay? He woke me up. He allowed me to experience another day. To me, that's him saying it's okay. So I'm okay. And I'm telling you that you're okay. You have to get to the point where enough is enough. I'm tired of being sick and tired, point blank. I'm not putting up with the nonsense and the BS no more. I'm going to get up, handle my business, and do what I got to do. You go to that daytime job that you can't stand. You deal with whatever it is in your life that you don't like. And when you get through that point, then you start on yourself. And you do your own thing like it's a second job until that daytime job or that whatever it is in your life that's distracting you becomes an annoyance and you'll get rid of it. It'll just move its way right out. That's all. But you have to get to that point to where you want to be happy with your life. You want to be happy with your decisions. And you want to feel good about you. This is all part of getting your mind right and getting focused. You have to get your mind in the right place and focus on what is necessary in order for you to do the things that you need to do. Pay attention to those distractions, those things that throw you off course. Think about it. You're happy, you're in a good mood, you're feeling good about yourself, and somebody come and do something that just pisses you off. That's a distraction. You have to see that for what it is, just a distraction. I'm not going to let that interrupt my good mood. I'm not going to let that interrupt my good day. That's all right, you got it, and keep it moving, simple and plain. They say, Dad, they're acting different and everything. They act like that didn't even faze them because it didn't. I'm on a mission, and nothing is to deter me from my mission. I've had enough heartache. I've had enough pain. I've had enough sorrow. I've had enough depression. I've had enough stress. I've had enough downtime. It's time to get up. That's all. Enough is enough. Your time is now. Go and get it. As always, it's your boy Herb Smith, and I say peace. And as always, it's time to get your mind right and get focused. Get out there and make your life worth living, because it is. I'm out.